Bismillah ar-Rahman Rahim. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been 1 year since the Indian government changed the special status of the illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir in complete violation of the international law and the UN Security Council resolutions. Since then, the Indian government has taken additional steps to consolidate its occupation by introducing a series of new domicile regulations to change the demographic structure of the occupied territory. The human rights situation in occupied Jammu and Kashmir continues to deteriorate owing to repressive actions of the Indian government. Ladies and gentlemen, the current Indian leadership is bent upon perpetuating its illegal occupation by brutally crushing the quest of the Kashmiri people for their fundamental rights, especially the right to self-determination as enshrined in the UN Security Council resolutions. Taking advantage of the world community's preoccupation with the COVID-19 pandemic, Indian occupation forces further intensified their inhumane crackdown and military siege. Mass extrajudicial killings and fake encounters, burning and looting of Kashmiri houses to inflict collective punishment on communities, indiscriminate use of pellet guns, and live ammunition against unarmed peaceful protesters remain the norm. Ladies and gentlemen, thousands of Kashmiris, including political leadership, remain under arbitrary detention and incarceration. Media has also been stifled with intimidation, detention, and harassment. The gross violation in Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir have been repeatedly exposed by reports of the international media, human rights organizations, and the world parliaments. The Office of the UN High Commissioner for Human Rights has extensively documented the Indian gross and systematic violations of human rights in two separate reports that were issued in June 2018 and July 2019 respectively. The UN Secretary General has also termed these reports as the voice of the United Nations. The UN High Commissioner for Human Rights and multiple UN Special Procedures mandate holders have also expressed serious concerns on the human rights situation in the Indian occupied Jammu and Kashmir. Ladies and gentlemen, the UN Security Council has also discussed the issue. Last September, the European Parliament held an open debate on the situation in Jammu and Kashmir. In September last year, the European Parliament held an open debate on the situation in the Indian occupied Jammu and Kashmir. A large number of MEPs condemned Indian actions and human rights violations and called upon India to lift the military siege of the occupied territory. Vice President of the European Parliament, Dr. Fabio Massimo Castaldo, sent a letter which was co-signed by other MEPs to the President of the European Commission and the European Union's High Representative on the precarious situation in the occupied territory. The chair of the European Parliament Subcommittee on Human Rights, MEP Maria Arena, also wrote a letter to the Indian Home Minister raising concerns on the situation of human rights in India. Ladies and gentlemen, the international community has an urgent responsibility to address and redress the situation. The travesty of justice and international law must henceforth come to an end. The international community should play its role and impress upon India to immediately lift the military siege, rescind the illegal and unilateral actions of 5 August 2019, comply with the UN Security Council resolutions, seize its gross human rights violations, and allow access to international human rights and humanitarian organizations, observers, and media to the occupied territory. On its part, Pakistan will continue to extend its political, diplomatic, and moral support to the people of Jammu and Kashmir for achieving their right to self-determination, which was guaranteed to them by the United Nations Security Council resolutions. The government of Pakistan has also decided to mark August 5 as Yawm-e-Istihsal, or the Day of Exploitation. I encourage you all to become the voice of innocent Kashmiris across the world and expose Indian atrocities in the occupied territories to trigger a strong international response. I thank you.